Ji. Thank you, Ji, for the introduction and the invitation. As mentioned, my name is Harbhajan. I'm from Kuala Lumpur. So I'm part of a team member running a media portal called Asia Samachar. Uh, just sound check. आवाज आ रही है जी?
हाँ जी, आ रही है जी, आ रही है जी।
Thank you, Ji. Carry on. I'll keep it very brief. I just have actually one point that I would like to share. Dr. Jagjit Singh has covered so many areas and very interesting. I like when Dr. G aptly captured that how in our Gurdwaras today the two-way lateral communication is no more there. There's no room for questioning. There's the guys who go and do prachar, they don't have any idea about the subject, the audience before them. I think Dr. G has covered a lot of areas. I just want to cover one point. We live today in amazing times, technology-wise. There has never been so much of technology at our disposal. It's all around us. It's available for a decent price in many parts of the world. And it is life changing, life altering technology. Since I'm talking to a group of people, I think you guys are passionate about bringing the key message. I would say that the environment is actually ripe for the picking for Sikhs. And what makes this all the more exciting for Sikhs is knowing the fact that the Sikhi message is relevant today just as it was when first articulated by Guru Nanak Sahib and subsequent Gurus. So in the very beginning, I would like to posit this statement that the setting is perfect for Sikhi to flourish, provided that we get the building blocks right. Now, the topic is effective ways to communicate the message of Sikhi. The biggest challenge before us, of course, is identifying the authentic and convincing Sikh message. Now, when I told a friend that, oh, I'm joining a forum and this is the topic, he was a fellow editor of another publication here in Kuala Lumpur. He told me, he says, you tell them point number one, and these are his words. He says, it is embarrassing and upsetting to realize that we still cannot get the date, Guru Nanak's date of birth right. I mean, that's just a very simple example. We will not be going into the message itself, but that's an example of the times that we live in. And his words were embarrassing, upsetting for that kind of talk. Now, we of course need to get the Sikhi message right. The primary rule in communication, as also shared by Dr. G just now, is to get the message right before you even decide how you're going to send it, where you're going to send it, and things like that. Now, getting the message right, that's a tall order, and I think that's a subject for another time. I will not be going too much into that. Now, but we must also get the message convincing. Otherwise, more Sikhs are going to drift to atheism. Forget Christianity. In my part of the world, people are drifting into religions like Christianity and Islam. But I think my hunch, we don't have numbers to actually support this statement, but my hunch is most of our younger people, most of our younger Sikhs, our children, our grandchildren, most of them are going towards atheism because they don't see, they are not convinced by the message that we have been putting forward. So getting the message authentic and getting it convincing are two of the challenges in the very beginning. Now let me move to the part about communication, how to communicate. Language. We need to use languages that will be most effective to the audience. It can be Punjabi, if Punjabi is the language for that audience. Otherwise, it could be English, it could be Spanish, it could be Indonesian, it could be Malay. My schooling, my entire life, my primary language at school was Malay, Malay Pasha, Malay. And my second language was English. I learned Punjabi along the way. Actually, I learned to read and to write Punjabi when I was 20. There are other Sikhs, Punjabis in my part of the world who have learned it from young. I was one of late boy. But the point is language. We need to prepare pracharaks who are at least able to communicate in two languages. Again, a tall order. But this is an important aspect of communication, effective communication. Now, the other part is to get prachar beyond gurdwaras. Here we have to harness the use of technology. And the only way is to get the young people involved. I don't know if you guys have heard of this app called Discord. Some of you who have young children may have heard of it. Discord, Discord. That is how a lot of our children, the younger children and grandchildren are communicating. They don't even use WhatsApp, they don't use email, they don't use Zoom. They are onto those channels. And why they are there? Because that channel is fun. If you go and you go to the website for Discord, this is how they advertise the Discord web. It's a group chat that's all fun games. And they have games and they have lots of things in there. The young people have to be involved. They have to be the powertrain of anything that we are talking about that we want to design. If in whatever plans that we have, if the young are not involved, then you can be assured that failure is what's next. The young has to be involved in this one. So my message is that the young are the only ones who can really come up with the ideas as to how to propel the Sikhi message. I'm talking about the communication part. The message can come from everybody. So to have effective communication, we need to engage the young. We need to build communication channels. They will be the channels, and the channels that we are going to build that will be coming up next for Sikhi Prachar are new channels that we have not used today. It will be a whole new world. It has to be a whole new world technology-wise. Then, so I spoke about Sikhi message, technology. Now, very briefly, let me just touch about the other challenge that we will have is to repackage the authentic and convincing Sikhi message using these new mediums. That will be our challenge. So the senior participants, when I was talking to Pai Basiji in our communication before this session, he did mention that we also want to target the senior participants, people like me and older. Yes, even for these people, we will need to use technology that will reach them. We will need to come out with bite-sized messages that can use Facebook, Insta, where people like us are. But we need to come up with that. Now, how do we do this thing? To do this, we will need to invest planning and the funding. Without planning, without funding, this is not going to happen. To produce the things that I talked about, getting new ideas, new methods, and producing these bite-sized things, we will, gurdwaras, associations, organizations, sabas, all of them will have to look at how they can set aside funding to enable technology to work for us. So I go back to the first statement I made. I think we live in interesting times. We live in interesting moments. If we can make technology work for us, we can bring the Sikhi message to the masses. Thank you, Ji.